We're here. We're here. It's not just when Jamie's here. It's like when we have more than two people. The StreamYard, the intro doesn't like take the full screen. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, Chris. Technology. I need you to get on that, okay?
You probably need to, where you probably got it set to where it's just two people. You need to go in there where you got like the multiple people setting. Stretch that thing out a little bit.
Two people is multiple people, and it works every.
I mean, like more than two, like 3 or 4. You have to set it up on like different.
Is that even
screens.
a thing?
I think so. I feel like I had to change like 3 or 4 different ones to figure out how to make my little intros and stuff. I had to mess with that quite a bit.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
I agree with you.
I got Restream, the other platform.
That's you went over to Restream?
Yeah, that's what I'm using now. So just so I can stream over to YouTube and Rumble at the same time simultaneously. Isn't that Beardo's? Isn't that Beardo's saying simultaneously all together?
All together, wrapped up one little bundle. No one's ever done this before. We use Rumble Studio. That's what we use. We love Rumble Studio. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Game On. This is the Sunday Wiseguy Roundtable, and look we actually have a roundtable today. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Doesn't Brass guy usually jump in?
He will eventually whenever he wakes up.
He normally does this on stage.
You're liable to see a grass in the wild.
Wait a second.
Wild, you never know.
Will and I are the ones that got to get up the earliest.
Oh yeah, dude.
Grass guy has to wake up. He's got to put his creamer in his coffee. He's got to sip his little latte for a good 15 minutes, and then he'll stumble on in here.
Yep, sure enough.
The only thing I did, I haven't even had my coffee yet, but I did put in an Alp.
Yeah. Oh man,
you're right off the rip. My coffee is going right now, and I actually heard it just beep that it's done. But cheers, buddy.
Yeah, you got to have your coffee with your Alp, man. That just gives it just that little bit extra.
You people are psychos, man. Getting ready to go.
What flavor do you have, Will?
I like the refreshing chill. That's my.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I've been doing the spearmint lately.
Yeah, the spearmint's going. I don't understand people that can do the fruity ones. I tried it.
I tried that.
Just can't.
Yeah, one of my sons gave me like a mango one once, and I said, it's all right, man. I got to have the mint one.
I had like there was like some like strawberry lemonade or one of the lemonades, and I was like,
Yeah, I had the blue one. It's like a dark blue one. It's called Chill Mint. Not refreshing chill. It's just called Chill Mint, and that one's actually pretty good.
Okay. Which one do you like, Jamie?
What's this exactly?
Fair enough. It's like little nicotine pouches, man.
Nicotine pouches.
Oh, you're doing the sixes like I do.
My apologies. I'm not a connoisseur in the old nicotine patches.
I was gonna say, man, us Americans, we gotta have our nicotine, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm not really a pretty one for tobacco. Like, I have had the little pouches, the one you put in your mouth every now and again.
Like Skull or Copenhagen or something like that.
There was a Finnish guy I met at some random night out in Valencia a few years back. I remember he had these nicotine patches, and they were really strong. Like you had them in for not long, and your head is practically spinning. And I asked him how long he's been doing this, and he said, I think since he's like 15. First I put one in his mouth for like a quarter of an hour, and after he was just getting sick everywhere.
Yeah, if you aren't used to it, it's gonna suck the first few times you do it.
Yeah, I think the first one I had is when they first came out years and years ago. They're called Skull Bandits. Oh
yes. And then you get used to it, and the next thing you know, you go from 3 milligrams, and you're like, I'll never go past 3, and then you're on 9 milligrams,
and you're addicted.
Oh, jeez.
You can still quit anytime you want. Just like gambling.
I could throw it out right now. I'm not going to, but I could.
You could.
My youngest son does 15s.
Jeez.
Golly, he is a psycho. That sounds intense, bro.
I started at 3s, went up to 6s. I do not want to go to 9s. The 6s do me just fine.
Yeah, 6s are all right, but I have a couple cans of 9s. Just do a 9 every now and then.
A 9 every now and then. You'll sound like y'all doing drugs.
It's so
I know it doesn't it though.
but I save those 9s for like when I really know I want one. I'm like, oh.
And like his Spinda says, you get hooked, man. Then you can't poop without them. you gotta have one, man. Got to.
Oh man, I mean that one. I at least I smell coffee, and I just my bowels kick in, and I gotta go. I don't even have to drink.
Yeah,
just smell it. And
You go to the bathroom, grab a Playboy magazine and your Alp, and you're set, right?
ready to go.
Yeah.
Man, tell you, ready to go. One of them old school Playboys too, like one from the 80s.
Yeah,
I'm sure this is
come on, man. You got to go back to the 70s before they trend.
Yeah, get some bush in there. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure that's exactly what Rumble was like. Hey, let's put these guys up top, and let's see what they're talking about sports, right? No.
Yeah.
Usually we'll get there.
Hold on, let me tell you though about Rumble Premium and why you guys should sign up for it.
Tell me about it.
You probably noticed Rumble's growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble's offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium. Use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium. Promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. Go get you Rumble Premium today.
Booyah.
Boo.
Yes, SC. Yeah. Appreciate you checking in. But yeah, we're all right, man. We didn't get washed away down here. We did have some big storms, but we was all right. It wasn't too bad around my way, man. But I do appreciate you asking. We good to go.
Yeah. Good morning, SC. Good morning, SC. Let's see. We got Orny Roll Fart. Papa Crick's in here. Jamie's in there. Rach is here. Good morning. Hot Fots is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. If you're watching right now, could you hop in and say hello? We want to hear from everyone. Hope everyone's having a good time. Look at this. Look what I found, Crick. Team leader Michael Jordan 1991-92 card.
You looked it up?
Oh yeah.
Now, how much are those cards worth with Jordan?
This one?
Wait, no.
Old school one?
Okay, yeah, get that one, but when he's wearing 45.
Oh, it's probably worth way more.
Oh, dude, yeah, those are. Well, I mean, I don't know. It just depends. Jordan cards are one of those things where it just depends on which one you got. Some of them worth, hell, some of them could be worth, I guess, potentially millions, depending on which one you got.
I know.
The same thing with Kobe too, with 8 and 24.
Found a random one from his childhood. It was I can't remember exactly which one it was, but it wasn't like anything crazy like an auto or anything like that. But it was a rookie card, Jordan rookie card, and it graded out in 8, and he got $5,000 for it.
I was gonna say, dude, those rookie cards, they'll throw money at you. I held them packs that if you've got any of those boxes, some people will keep those boxes for years and years, 20, 25 years or better, and then they'll sell them packs. And if you got those packs and something, you sell those packs for like $5,000 a piece.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, real quick, I should have started off with this. Shout out to my lovely wife. Happy anniversary. Big day. This year we didn't forget. Last year we forgot. Both of us did.
I remember that.
Because we were so busy. We had our Vegas trip coming up, but we also had Ace's birthday party to plan. Because literally the day after we got back from Vegas was going to be his party, so we had to get all that together. I remember it was July 13th, and I go, oh my god! I look at her, and go, you know what yesterday was? She goes, what? I'm like,
dude, God. That's when you're like, sweet, I'm off the hook.
Yeah, and so last night my wife looked at me and she goes, are you doing your show in the morning? I go, yeah, I'm doing my show in the morning. What are you talking about? And she goes, are you doing your other show at 8:30 on Sports Wars? I go, yeah. He goes, okay. So the odds of me getting my Shannon Sharp on tonight, you can go ahead and bet the no over on Kalshi. Okay,
bet the no on the Shannon Sharp this evening.
But shout out to my amazing wife. Happy anniversary. Love you. Even though you never watched this show.
Well,
you would think after all these years she would tune in one time.
No, she gets all the will she wants, man.
I know. And she looked at she looked at me yesterday. She goes, he gets that from you. And we're talking about Callahan. I go, what? He goes, he just has to talk to everyone. Has to tell everyone what's on his mind. He has to be, wants their attention and whatnot. I go, what do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
I was going to say, I don't know what he was doing, but whatever it was, he got it from you. That's for sure. So, well, happy anniversary to you guys, man. That's good stuff.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Can't believe she stuck around this long. And it's probably the kids. She's probably doing it for the kids.
Do it for the kids, baby. Always do it for the kids. Germ, we've been going about 10 times as long as that main event last night, sir. Now,
you got like 12 kids. You're fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Germ, what? Germ said what?
Can we talk about that for just a minute? Because we don't have to. I mean, hell, we'll probably talk about it longer than it actually lasted.
You want to dive right into it? We can dive right into it. I was going to, warm up a little bit.
Let's get that shit over with. What a bunch of trash.
Well, I mean, the fights were actually pretty good.
Oh, I'm talking about one single in particular fight. I didn't watch anything else from that. I was watching soccer. Excuse me, football.
The fights weren't bad. They were pretty good stuff. But dude, I look at how it was a minute-long fight, and look how red his legs are. You can't really see it that well, but if you go to ESPN, you can see they just highlight it and make it all red.
Just colored it in red Sharpie.
I don't know what fight was quicker, that one or the Rousey Carano fight.
Oh God, this one was just unfortunate. My wife was like, so for those of you who didn't know, Conor McGregor came out like a bat out of hell, like Conor does. This is what he does. But he's really strategic with everything he does. I mean, the reason why he was able to knock out Jose Aldo that one time in 13 seconds was because he set him up. He knew if he got real close, Jose would throw a certain punch and he could duck it and uppercut him. And that's what happened. I mean, he's pretty strategic with this kind of stuff. So he comes out and does this crazy wild flying kick and it doesn't land. But when he does that, he blows out his right knee. And I honestly, you see that thing pop and
yeah, you did. Totally.
Credit to Conor.
When they did the slow motion.
Yeah, and like that happens at the like less than 5 second mark. Credit to Conor for actually trying to fight on it.
He did try to fight.
I mean, it's high. I mean, obviously everyone's super disappointed. I don't think that's what Conor wanted to happen.
No, I don't think
he wanted to go out like that. I don't think there was everyone's zooming in, and I'll show you a video of it. They're zooming in on him walking up and like, getting, checking in, and they thought he might have a pre-existing injury, but I think he just like I think people are stretching there because you clearly see it pop. I mean, I'll say this too. I don't think, even if he had not come out like wild and crazy, and tried to do that leg kick, his knee was going to pop at some point in that fight. Like that doesn't just happen because.
That's what I wonder, dude. I mean, you think is that the same ACL he blew out against him before 13 years ago or whatever?
No, I don't think he blew out his ACL before.
No, I was reading that article this morning. He said ultimately, like he won that fight, that last fight against him, he won it, and he did have a torn ACL after that fight, but still got the win.
Then maybe that was it. Everyone thought it was his ankle again, which
that's what I kind of thought, dude. I thought maybe another hairline. I was like, God, is this thing about to snap again or something? Because it just looked funny when he went out there. Obviously, that first kick, but you could see it on his face, dude. When he hit the ground, he knew something was off.
Yeah, which it's just unfortunate for everyone. Obviously, the fans super disappointed. I mean, God, like I said, everything was leading up to that fight. It was looking good. Fights were pretty decent. I'm not gonna say this was the best card ever, but it wasn't boring, right? And then,
yeah, dude, that's pretty brutal. Right there. Can you imagine what them tickets cost to get in that damn thing? Yeah, to see that you're gambling every time you buy a UFC ticket, man.
Now, allegedly, we don't know for sure, but while he was outside of the USADA pool and outside the UFC all these years, and he got super big, especially when he was doing the movie Roundhouse and whatnot. Allegedly, he might have done some steroids, and those kind of
that'll wear you down, man.
After you juice and you get older,
yep. That'll break down your joints and stuff too. And once again, the guy's 37, jumping around like a crazy person out there. If I tried to jump like that, my knee would explode too. Yeah. It was. I mean, I wanted to see. Like I said, I wanted to see Max Holloway beat his head in anyway, but I at least wanted to see the fight. I was I felt myself getting a little excited about that fight, man. Argentina pulled ahead in extra time in the soccer game. I was like, all right, it's time to turn on McGregor and Holloway, man. And I got it just in time. They were walking into the ring. And I watched more of that than I did to get to see the actual fight, man. I was so disappointed, bro.
Yeah, but I'll say this, though. At least this wasn't pay-per-view. Like, at least it's on Paramount Plus now.
Right. Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
$100 a pop.
I've been
Yeah.
way more pissed.
Oh,
Germs
yeah.
says, what movie did Connor do? Connor did the Roadhouse remake with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, the remake there.
And
But yeah, I don't think this guy ever fights again. Hell, it took 5 years to get this one.
I don't know how I understand that he probably is like, dude, I don't want to go out like this, but at the same time, do you want to spend 2 years recovering and then you're going to come back when you're 39 and who are you going to fight, you know?
Yeah, that's what Holloway told him. He's like, he was already looking over at like the table and stuff, and he's like, so we're going to run it 3 times now?
Max handled it pretty well too.
He did handle it well, dude. He did. He could have beat the shit out of him.
He also, even after the fight was over.
Right. He did handle that classy.
He was trying to, because when you're going up against Connor, you have to go into the gimmick and the shtick. And he tried to when Joe asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh, I guess I just made him weak in the legs or whatever." And it didn't really hit. It didn't really land. And then he's like, "Okay, I'm not gonna try to play this up anymore. Let's just."
Yeah, dude. So he tried to get him. He was like, "All right, let's give it up for Conor McGregor," and the whole stadium's booing his ass.
Yeah,
well, that didn't go well.
The majority of fighters, both in the UFC and boxing, rarely go out on top. But they usually get beat down on their last fight because they know that it's time to hang it up. I mean, you even go back in time to look at some boxers like Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes. These guys want George Foreman, Mike Tyson. These guys, they rarely go on top unless you're Rocky Marciano, who goes on top, who never lost a fight. But
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather. But Floyd Mayweather's a different type of fighter. He just dances and he just dances and dances and dances, avoids the punch, and then he'll get you at the end because he tires you out.
Just so technical, man.
Yeah, there's rarely a fighter that goes out on top. With winning, they usually wind up getting a royal beatdown in their last fight, and then they hang it up because they know they're just too old for the young guys.
Those egos are too much, man. It's hard for them to hang them up until eventually they kind of force you to hang them up.
Yeah, exactly.
So fair enough. I hated to see it, man. I did want to see a good fight there. I did think Holloway handled it well, but I thought before this fight, I told y'all, I thought McGregor had been done, and that's an unfortunate situation. Yeah. But you hate to see it in like that. But I think he's done for good now. I don't think he comes back.
Yeah, it was nice though. The undercards were very good.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that. My dad watched pretty much all of them. He told me they were really good.
You got this song stuck in my head now after he said dance so many times. I'm just like, we can dance if you want to. We can leave your friends behind.
Don't do that. Last time you brought that song up, I was singing that shit for 3 days, man.
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm honestly surprised that McGregor came back at all because he's been pretty heavily focused on the extracurriculars over the last 5 years or so.
Yeah,
it sounded like he did everything right this time. Like if he's being honest about his training, like not like he wasn't getting his Shannon Sharp on at all with his wife. He wasn't doing anything. He was super focused for the last 12 weeks. I'll tell you what. As disappointing as the fight was, it was fun getting to experience again what a fight week is with Conor McGregor. He is so good at entertaining. I forgot how fun it is listening to him hype up the fight all week.
He's great at that. Maybe the best.
Have you ever heard him discuss like some of his stuff that he went through? I guess one of his biggest regrets is when he took on that sponsorship with Proper 12 because he wasn't a drinker, and then he wound up he had to like take the Proper 12 with him like almost everywhere when he was speaking or some kind of events, just because he was a spokesman for him and all that, and he wound up drinking the stuff and got addicted to drinking that Irish whiskey. And he says that was kind of a downfall for him because he was never a drinker.
That's kind of crazy to me too.
Which
I
whiskey
think the
was it
downfall,
again?
man, where you look at this career kind of taking a turn was back in 2017 when he fought Mayweather. After that, man, it's been all over but the crime for this guy. He went 1-3 in the UFC, and then he also had several lawsuits he had to fight his way out of in the courtroom there. But that 2017 is kind of that mark where it started to go downhill after he fought Mayweather.
What
I
were you
remember there
saying?
used to be big hype about him over here because he would have come from a working class area in Dublin, would be in Crumlin. And for a while, I can remember everyone's like, "Oh, fucking hell, we have someone who's really good at MMA." But in the background, he was slowly but surely making enemies. And by the time 2017 came around, a lot of people just didn't like him at all. Now, still, he still has a lot of people who like him. But generally, public opinion has turned against him over time.
And love him or hate him, you're going to tune in to watch.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah. There was just as many people tuning in last night to watch him get his ass beat by Max that wanted to watch him win last night.
100%. Just think if you'd one of those guys that took off running to the window to bet on Conor McGregor, though.
Did he have a cocaine sponsor too? Yes, he did. Mm-hmm. You see who one of the ring girls was for one of the fights?
Yeah, it was that girl that pointed, the girl from the WNBA.
Was that Sophie?
Yeah.
Sophie Cunningham.
That girl was living her best life, ain't she?
Call her the pointing girl.
I like how she's from being known as like.
I can't hear you. Your thing's cutting out.
How about now?
There you go.
There you go.
I like how she went from being the gal known as Caitlin Clark's goon to the pointing girl.
Yeah. Was she just walking around out there barefoot and stuff?
Yeah, she walked around the ring, held up,
Do you think? She's living her best life, man.
Yeah. She got to hang out with the ring girls.
Just chilling. Well, it's a party.
Oh, damn. She really is everywhere.
Everywhere, bro.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the most popular memes now. It's like popping up everywhere.
When
that meme will last forever.
Not that I'm complaining.
When you get your 15 minutes of fame on the internet, you got to run with it and take advantage of every opportunity. Look at the Hawk Tua girl, right? She was around for a while and then crash and burn. But you got to take advantage of it.
You got to make that money while you can.
Yeah. So this is what people are talking about. So like right here, I'm saying like because he stumbled right there. I'm like, no, it just looked like he took his shoe off weird.
I was gonna say he could have just. I don't know, man.
I mean, maybe his knee was sore, but there's no doubt that like that thing popped when he was out there. Maybe it was sore or anything like that, but
yeah, it could have been.
Oh, look how he's being ginger on it, but then he's out there jumping up and down. Just watch. And then he'll start. Oh, I gotta move it forward a little bit. Let's jump.
So,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. I mean, he could have been hurt before the fight, and not even really known that he was hurt before the fight or how bad it was.
Yeah. Here's the kick. So he's going for this, and he's actually in pretty decent position. My wife's like, "Do you think that's really going to work on a guy like Max Holloway?" I go, "No, but you got to try."
That's pretty cool that your wife knew enough about it to say that.
Oh, she loves MMA.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, she was. So I told her, she's like, "Oh God, I need a shower," but like, and we were watching the Patty fight was about to start. I go, "Well, watch this fight." There's usually a good 20 minutes in between them. And then when the Patty fight ended real quick, I was like, "Oh, it's definitely gonna be like 20, 30 minutes because they usually have to wait a certain time to have these guys walk out. Maybe that was the old pay-per-view and stuff. Nope, not this time. They walked out real freaking quick. So I ran upstairs. I'm like, "Hey, you better get out here."
Yeah, hurry. God, good thing you went and got her, dude. She would have missed it.
I know. Well, she was pissed because she wanted to watch the walkouts, but she missed that. Likes the music and watching the.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch the walkout. That's how I decide who's going to win the fight, man. I always bet on the wrong guy.
Yeah. So then there he goes to go land. So he's landing this kick, right? And his right knee just, right there.
It does kind of pop right there. Pop.
You're not going to be able to see it from this angle on this one, but they have another angle where you can clearly see it.
It looks like when you're watching a football game, you see that running back catch the little pass out of the backfield and he's outside. He goes make that juke and he gets that non-contact injury. Boom. and it just kind of shifts just a little bit, but everything inside that dude just exploded.
Yeah. And look at him, his face. He knows. He's like,
that's what I'm saying. That's where I could tell when I seen his face.
Right
I was
there.
like, something's off.
Well, when he fell the second time, I was like, this is weird. And then the third time he fell, and they're like, Dan, he's slipping. I go, no one else has been slipping all night. What is going on?
Right. It ain't like they're out there fighting on the slip and slide.
Which, once again, credit to him for trying to get, this is.
He did try to go.
Fight. He tried to,
I'll give credit where credit's due. He did try to go.
Because he could have, like, right here just called it off. And then that would have been like, what the hell? But no, he actually tried to give it a go.
And you knew, too, when he couldn't stand up, he fell down a couple different times. And Holloway, even, you could see in his face, he's like, what are we doing here? This guy can't fight me.
Yep. Yeah, he kept flagging the refs, too. And then the refs let it go for a little bit. And then after that, I think it was like the second or third time the ref says, no, he can't go.
That would be a really tough spot for that referee to have to call that fight like that at the beginning with all the hype and everything surrounding stuff too. Like, you really got to be sure to call that fight right there. And I think he did right by calling it. But I don't necessarily blame the referee for letting it go for a minute because nobody wanted to see that thing in like that.
No, not at all. If the ref would have called it earlier, I think the crowd would have really went berserk.
I don't think the ref knew. I don't think the ref knew what was going on because none of us really did. We were kind of looking like, why does he keep falling?
Everybody was confused. The announcers, everybody.
Because it wasn't clear until they slowed it down and showed, oh, this is where he blew out his knee.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Everybody was confused, man.
Yeah. Disappointing. But, I say that the co-main was disappointing as well because we were expecting a war in this fight and it was over in less than a minute because Patty just he timed it up perfectly. He knew that Dennis was going to shoot in, and I'm going to call him Dennis because he lost. And, win a fight and I'll get your name right. But Dennis shot in and he caught him in the perfect chokehold. And it was beautiful. He took his time with it. The thing was deep. When he tried to barrel roll out of it, he rolled with it, wrapped his legs around him. Oh my God, it was a work of art. I'm like, he's not going to let go of this one. Like, he was in way too deep. I go, as long as he does this right, it's going to be over. And dude was out. He looked at the ref and goes, he's out. And the ref grabs his arm and goes, oh shit, get off him.
Yeah, get off of him. Let him go. So, hey, bro, he's snoozing here.
I mean, that was exciting, but we were hoping for a little bit longer fight in that one too. So kind of the co-main and main, pretty disappointing especially if you paid money to go to that fight and be there.
Who won the was it Whitaker? Didn't he fight last night?
Yeah, I think he did. He ended up winning. Yeah, he ended up knocking the guy out. Oh yeah, dude, he landed this punch flush across the guy's face. I think broke his jaw, and the guy like stepped back. Tried to come forward and go.
Jeez.
That was Robert Whitaker's debut at light heavyweight. I didn't realize he was
Lean back.
That was his debut at light heavyweight.
It ain't working right. Something's funky.
But
no, something's funny. I'm not tripping, right, y'all? He sounds funny.
Yeah, kind of muffled.
how about now?
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
I don't know. Let me check my settings. No, everything's up and running the right way.
Yeah, you're good now.
Something streamer. And so that was his debut at light heavyweight, and I didn't realize he was going up to light heavyweight. But man, you want to talk about if you want to see what happens when you've had like a 10+ year career in the UFC and you've had over 30 fights, especially if you've been a champion. That's what Robert Whitaker looked like last night. Is exactly. It's like he looked old. He won. He was still looking good, but granted, he is a little bit thicker too. But he just didn't. He didn't look as smooth and crisp.
Yeah, a lot of miles, a lot of shots to the head, all that stuff, man. That's a hard existence, dude. To fight for a living for 15, 20 damn years. That's rough. It ain't just about the fights that you go fight, man. It's about the everyday training and all the stuff that goes into all that too.
Plus all the unofficial fights you've had. Like
yeah, exactly. All those two that don't even count. Yeah, you still had to get out there and throw blows.
Yeah, here they are here, but like, I don't know. Just watch this. He still looks fine, but you could tell he's a little bit bigger. He's not as smooth, not as not like the old Robert Whitaker. But maybe it's also just because he went up to light heavyweight.
Yeah. What does he normally fight at?
185.
Oh, yeah. So how about, what is that? What is 200 light heavyweight?
205.
205. Oh, shit. That's
Yeah.
20 pounds, man.
20 pounds.
That's a lot when you're fighting. What up to the Max? How you doing, man?
Good morning.
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah. Well, Gable Stevenson handled business. That was, as Rogan said, the most anticipated UFC debut. Let's see, Whitaker's sporting his dad bod. Or like they say in Idaho, Will bod. That's right.
The Will bod, baby.
That's right. Cody Garbrandt got knocked out. That was the safest bet on the board. One of those guys was going to get knocked out. Just how it goes. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Bobby King Green was getting his ass kicked. And then knocked old homeboy out there.
Found a miracle, huh?
In the final, dude, he just landed a couple body shots, dropped the dude, and the dude was trying to cover up for the last 10 seconds, and he was just wailing on him. And the ref literally stepped in at the last second and said, "Nope, this is done.
This is done."
Everyone's like, "What? He only had 1 second left." He's like, "No, the dude can't. He's not even defending himself."
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, one second's an eternity of you getting your head pummeled.
Bobby King Green. B-Mac went 9-1-3 in the fights last night. I had a baby B-Mac.
B-Mac, I got to show you something, dude. Here in a minute, remind me after we wrap this up. I got to show B-Mac something. Don't go nowhere, B-Mac.
Well, we can pretty much wrap it up. That's the UFC 329. Highly disappointing.
The most disappointing, some would say.
Okay, go ahead. Show B-Mac what you want to show.
B-Mac. So Pissant came over the other day. He wanted to come over and see the boys on Friday, hang out. He picked up some cards to rip some packs with. When we came over here, man, he got this one box that had it was the Series 2 for the MLB, and it had a big card in it, B-Mac. And we were opening packs, and we unveiled the big card, and we immediately decided that this had to come to you since your favorite player was on the giant card, B-Mac. We got that coming your way, dude. Little polar bear, Pete Alonso for B-Mac on the big card, B-Mac. This is bigger than a 5x7 picture, man. You'll be able to hang this one. You'll probably be able to tape this right on front of the big brown truck, B-Mac. For your favorite player, Pete Alonso, the polar bear. For those of y'all who don't know, B-Mac hates that guy. That's B-Mac's Jack Eichel. For any of y'all that do not know out there. So we got that coming your way, B-Mac. Yeah, baby. Did you see it, Will?
Look
at this. Look at how big that freaking thing is, dude.
Jesus, dude.
It's like a 5x7 Pete Alonso, baby. We got headed to B-Mac right there. They had one big card inside this little box. It's like one of the Funko Pop ones. And Pissant bought it. We opened it, and I said, "Oh, my God, bro. I know who this have to go to." He said, "Make sure and send it to him." So Pissant's got that coming your way, B-Mac.
Just saw Idaho's hiring for state executioner on the firing squad. Dude, you don't need to hire anyone. You can go grab just go out on the streets and find a couple dudes. Guarantee you a few of them are packing.
Wait. What?
People yeah,
you still do firing squad?
We brought it back.
Brought it back. Oh, we brought the firing squad back.
Yeah, it's legal now here.
Okay.
Don't play games up here, okay?
I like it, dude. I like it, dude. I'm telling you, I did not have that on the bingo card. I thought the last one of those went out in about 1884. But okay.
You would be right. And we decided in 2026 to bring it back.
Hey, year of our Lord. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say that they're saving it for those people that try to mess with kids.
They should save it for them. They should get all that.
I'm not opposed to it. So
I'm with it, man. Line them up.
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny that they're hiring someone for that. Like I said, just go find
hire. Yeah. What kind of resume do you have to get to be the state executioner? Like, well, what kind of background do you have? You know,
I think you get buddies with the governor, but we're also I think we got a new governor. Is it this year or maybe it's 2028? We should have a new election for governor here soon. But it's probably appointed by the governor, like everything is. Do you even know that there's a position to be a part of the board of pharmacy in Idaho? Any pharmacist can apply for it in Idaho, and there's a spot coming up. But basically, you have to know someone in the governor's office because they're the ones that appoint them. And I'm like, oh, I have no shot.
Hell, just go up there and hang out, talk to them, just hang out outside. Like I said, your wife told you talk to anybody.
Yeah, I would.
Ask them if they've heard about Rumble Wallet.
Yeah. Hey.
Tell them about Rumble Wallet, man. That might get you.
About maybe we should put some of the state's treasury into Rumble Wallet.
Yeah, 100%.
And get some big old bitcoins backed by real gold.
Big old bitcoins backed by real gold, baby. Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, Jamie. We've got the semifinals of the World Cup set, sir.
Indeed we do.
A couple pretty good games yesterday. A couple controversial games yesterday, man.
Yeah.
Just
Can we talk about that?
Let's talk about it, man. I want to hear Jamie's thoughts on all of these things, man.
Oh, I thought you wanted my thoughts.
Well, we'll get yours in a minute.
I think the Norway game was BS. That's all I'm going to start with. I think it was bullshit.
Both kind of BS.
I didn't see the Argentina game. I saw the Norway game. And listen, I understand it's a foul, but the way that they play that guy all game and are aggressive with him, and then he gets a little aggressive with one other guy, and the guy I'm not going to say it was a shove, but like the guy definitely flopped a little bit too. It's just and I think the reason why people like me, your average American that tries to watch soccer and sees those kind of things happen, I think the reason what makes it worse is because they don't call it at the time. They go back and watch the replay after they let everything play out and then say, oh, we're going to take the goal away. I think that's stupid.
I don't think I like this VAR shit. I'm all about getting the call right and stuff, but I feel like this VAR shit screws the game up more than it helps it.
Oh, yeah, I can't stand it. As far as I'm concerned, it's called the entire game into disrepute. For a long time, like when I was growing up, occasionally you're going to have bullshit decisions, like an offside missed or a handball missed. Hell, I remember 2009, Ireland were going for the World Cup, and we had a playoff against France. And Thierry Henry would have been one of the top players at the time. Like, no joke, ball comes in, he handballs it twice to keep it in play. And he kicks it across the goal, and then France score to lead again on aggregate. And for good measure, he was also offside in the build-up. Like I can remember back then, like we were really pissed off about it. The whole thing turned into a massive farce where I think the president of the FAI at the time even suggested making a 33rd team berth of the World Cup, especially for Ireland. Obviously, that idea got laughed out by everybody.
Right.
But there was a massive tailwind forming in favor of not having bullshit decisions go against you. And indeed, 2010 World Cup rolls around. England were shocking, and they were losing to Germany. But they actually managed to get a goal. And I remember Frank Lampard, he hit a shot. It went in off the underside of the crossbar. It went over the line. It was very clearly over
I remember
the line.
That one, dude.
Yeah, but it wasn't given. And that was a catalyst to start having extra officials in the goal lines.
Dude, I remember that one because it bounced right behind. You could see clearly there was like grass in between the goal line and the ball, like probably 3 or 4 inches. It clearly went in.
It was very clear. And back at that time, there was a lot of support for having extra refereeing procedures. Well, eventually, goal line technology and assistance was replaced by video assisted review. That came in around 2018 for the World Cup at the time.
Okay.
But gradually, it's become much more of an overwhelming behemoth to the extent that when a goal is scored, you can't even celebrate anymore because
Dude,
you know
you
it's
really
going to come
can't.
back for the VAR check.
You really can't. You don't even know. Like, you'll see him get over there celebrating. I'm like, you better pump the brakes for just a second. I don't know if they're going to give you that. Now we got the chip in the ball and all kinds of stuff. I want to ask your thoughts on this, Jamie. Do you think that ball in the Norway-England game, do you think that clipped a wire up there that was like holding that camera on?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too, dude. They said the chip in the ball didn't register a touch. Hell, in that Croatia and Portugal game, we had it register flipping that guy's hair or whatever, and it registered a touch, and it called that guy offsides on what should have been the equalizing goal in that game. And I'm like, wait a minute, you called a touch on that, but you didn't. The ball didn't register a touch on the wire thing, because I think it clearly hit that thing. Do you think so, Jamie?
I don't remember it coming up at the time when I was watching live. I only saw it come up afterwards. But as far as I'm concerned, if there's no observable deviation in the path to ball to the naked, you shouldn't be disallowing it for it.
I feel like
this whole business of putting snickometers in balls and using it to rule out goals is just absolute
I agree with
nonsense. It goes against the spirit of what the game was originally developed for.
Okay, but like when they will use the VAR or whatever the hell it is to say, oh, that touched the hair on that guy's head, yet they miss this, I think that's also what's frustrating about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you get a lot of people disinterested.
Goal, Jordan Pickford, from his goal kick, the ball actually...
It comes straight down, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that ball was going to go another 25 or 30 yards down the field. And this is what leads to the equalizing goal right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, and that spot, that's supposed to be like a drop ball.
Use VAR to do that. I mean, everyone at home can see it on themselves, but VAR is like, nope, didn't see it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, I wonder and stuff like that. And they've already been talking in this World Cup, and Argentina got a little favorable call later in that. It does feel like they've kind of been a little more beneficiary to the bigger, more legendary squads in this thing. Would you agree, Damon?
Lack of transparency, that's the real killer here. It's like when you have a referee go over and take a look at it and make a call based upon what he can see with his own two eyes. It's whatever you can see with your own two eyes as well. But it's a whole it's a layer of abstraction where decisions are being outsourced to officials who aren't even on the field, based upon metrics that aren't really visible to naked eye. That's when fans begin to lose confidence in the way the game is officiated.
Also, this guy fucked up so hard. They had a chance right here to score, and he does not pass it.
Oh my God, that's just wide open too, dude. Just lay it off in front of them.
It's Holland as well.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's Holland or whatever his name is. It's him, and it's a 2-on-1, and all he has to do is kick it over to him. He does it. Instead, he stutters. He gets nervous. Then everyone catches up, and then he takes it to the middle and tries to take a terrible shot from the middle, where all he had to do was pass the ball, dude.
Just pass the ball.
And it's Holland as well. Like, the guy could have kicked it up onto his arse and he would still find a way to get it to go in.
No kidding, dude. I didn't realize that he had scored in like 14 consecutive competitive matches. The last match he didn't score in was the last match they actually lost.
Yeah.
So that guy don't score, Norway loses. Mark it in.
This was the
happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday, Dog Spa. Happy birthday.
Working on his birthday, man. Out there slaving away, man. Grooming them puppies. I hope you have a great day, sir. Happy birthday, brother.
I'll see if I can find it, but they took down the video that I retweeted of it that shows how open he was.
Of course,
the little shove right there, and also I think he trips over his own teammate too a little bit.
And Elliot Anderson is clever though, and as he gets
the trip is being chargeable there. I think he just decided to go down. Like Holland he's a very big guy, so I could imagine even like a very small shove from him is going to feel really big, but also like,
dude, they beat this guy to death. That guy, they show video of this stuff, the way they play this guy, and they're literally out there doing like angle tackles against this guy, beating him to death, and he's got excellent control and discipline, because I'd be throwing fisticles with some of these dudes the way they touch him on the pitch out there. But they beat him all over the place, dude, and he does something like that, and that guy definitely flopped right there. He didn't push him that damn hard.
Dude, I didn't realize
it was an extraordinarily soft foul to rule the goal out for.
I agree.
I don't want to get the show derailed, so I'm just gonna say this real quick. But I saw someone's name in the chat, and I'm like, that's weird. But apparently, Senator Lindsey Graham passed away last night suddenly. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, he did. I got that information this morning.
Yeah,
71 from short illness.
Yeah, they're saying maybe a heart attack or something. But I saw someone's name. Did they mean Mitch McConnell? Because
but it's Lindsey Graham.
Who are either one of these people?
Senators of the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a Republican senator of South Carolina.
Yeah, and I don't mean to speak ill of him, but not a lot of people like either of those guys. In the
I think he was he was a flip flopper. He was a flip flopper.
Yeah,
Lindsey Graham.
Well, I hate to hear the rough news. I don't know much
now
about
it. So now they got to try to rush in another senator.
Well, he was already going up in a primary against another guy, so they have good news is the election's this year for them. But look at who Vince Vaughn's hanging out with.
Yeah, I saw that last night.
Yeah, dude. Drew Brees was there. He was announcing one of the prelim fights.
That's cool.
Vince Vaughn was sitting next to the curator and director Taylor Sheridan.
Oh, dude, I love that stuff. That guy's got show after show. It's a banger. So, well, man, if you want to live your best life and you're like an older celebrity, man, you just go hang out at a UFC fight.
Who's that guy?
Look at that guy, baby. Let's go. All he do is win, 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 baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what happened in the Argentina game?
Well, Jamie, go ahead, lay it out for me.
So Argentina started off a bit shakily. Switzerland were the ones who were attacking it more, but then they conceded a goal from a corner kick. And Argentina isn't really the tallest team in the world. And then from that point onwards, Switzerland gradually got a little bit of an edge in the game. They got an equalizer in the second half. But then I'm not sure if something like this has ever happened before. One of their players, Mbolo, got a second yellow card for a dive. Now, that part's not unprecedented. But what is unprecedented is that VAR went to check for a yellow card for mistaken identity. Because I believe it was
that's garbage.
Alvarez it mightn't have been Alvarez, but it was someone got a yellow card for Argentina, and it was brought back for mistaken identity, which is a legitimate thing to bring a yellow card under review for. You can't be giving yellow cards to the wrong person. But what the review brought to the referee's attention was that Mbolo had actually dived, and it was an absolutely comical dive. It was he may as well have been dancing out there, not playing football. So he was already on the yellow. He got a second yellow card, and then Switzerland are down to 10 men. Huge momentum swing towards Argentina. Argentina, it went to extra time because they still couldn't score against 10 men. But eventually, Alvarez scored a screamer, and then Argentina got another breakaway goal at the very end of extra time, and thus favorites win again.
I think that red card was bullshit. I understand that it's in the way they write the rule and all this different shit and stuff. But I think in a game like that, of that magnitude, in a game that's level at that point, no way you send that guy off for something cheeky like that. There's got to be something rewritten in that to where we can keep that from happening again.
I know the dive itself, it was comically bad. I'm all in favor of giving players yellow cards for diving because it is an attempt to con the referee into giving your team an unfair advantage. But the manner in which it happened, whereby it wasn't initially punished, then play restarted and it was called back, and it was only then given while assessing somebody else.
That's what sucks.
One of those things which the sheer manner of it is really what brings the game into disrepute.
And they were like, they didn't even think there was a possibility of that happening, man. They thought they get the review and the yellow to make sure Switzerland's feeling really good in that spot. And talk about going from the highest high to the lowest low in a matter of seconds, dude.
Yeah, and this is why I haven't really liked this World Cup, even though it has had a lot of entertainment. It's nothing compared to previous World Cups, and the big reason why is I'm seeing an unprecedented amount of lopsidedness in favor of favorites. Now, it's not that favorites are coming along and just dominating the gauntlet every single game, because when you look at it from an against the spread perspective, you're having a lot of spots where underdogs are indeed covering. But when it comes to just straight up money line and to advance, there's been an absolutely astonishing rate of favorites just progressing. I've never seen anything like it. In previous tournaments, you would normally have a few upsets to group stages, teams out in their arse, and then a few upsets in the knockout stages. But this knockout stage under the expanded format, there has only been one upset in 90 minutes, and that was Brazil losing to Norway. Every other game, it went to extra time, and there have been 3 favorites who went out in penalties. Those would have been Holland, Germany, and Colombia. But even out of those, Holland were only narrow favorites. And the USA were technically favorites for a hot minute before the game against Belgium, but they
shouldn't have
were
been ever
before Balogun's reinstatement.
Yeah, and that, like, I feel like every big moment, every big call, that's been kind of controversial, I feel like every one of those is gone in favor of one of the bigger teams.
Well,
yeah,
this
that
is the first
doesn't
time
help
ever
confidence either.
that the top 4 ranked teams made it to the semis. So you're probably right, Craig.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the proof's in the pudding right there, huh?
Yeah,
And it does circle around something which, from a betting perspective, you absolutely do have to pay attention to. And that is, you have to look at it and try and figure out if favorites winning at such a ridiculous rate is just freakish variance, or if there is structurally something deeper going on that is tilting the playing field towards them. I think this is mainly explainable through freakish variance because, come on, like Switzerland having a man sent off for one of the most comically awful dives of all time, like that's kind of a freak event in itself. Goalkeepers spilling balls, like even Spain against Belgium, that was heading towards extra time until Courtois went off with an injury. That's very unusual.
Yeah,
and then
brutal.
his replacement, who hadn't let in a single clanger for Manchester United all season, then spills the ball for the winning goal.
What a poor effort
it
that
genuinely has been pretty freakish. And like when all's said and done, like you guys have put on a hell of a job of hosting the World Cup. And I think you do get unfairly criticized for stuff that's not really inside your remit. Like I don't like the water breaks being done for every game. It's not really in the spirit of the game.
Is that not something we've always done?
No, we've never done that. It's an American.
We didn't do that in the middle of the desert last time?
No.
God almighty, that's the most American thing I've ever heard.
I know, we're kind of soft.
Like it's not unprecedented. Like they brought them in for Brazil 2014, but they only did it for selected games when the temperature went above a certain threshold. And this is the first time that it's brought in for every game, regardless of whether it's piss and rain or not.
I was going to say, I don't feel like it couldn't have been any more hot over here than it was in the middle of Qatar the last time.
Punches landed in Vegas this weekend. Bam Adebayo 1, Conor McGregor 0.
Oh, Bam must have got in trouble.
Yeah, he punched Tyler Hero. You didn't see that story?
No.
He punched him. They got arrested or whatever, kicked out of a club. Yeah, he punched him. But
are they buddies?
They're former teammates. And then
I know that, but that's what I'm saying. Just because you're former teammates don't mean you're buddies.
Oh, no, they clearly had some beef with each other or something.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, clearly something going on there. He traded him away. He's like, they won't mess with me now, and I'm punching your dome.
Yeah, you dumb fuck.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, before we get to the semifinals, I got to tell you guys about something new and exciting. And that's
new and exciting?
Yeah, Rumble Wallet.
Well, tell me.
We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your own money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem. Now fast forward to today. Everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all the complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want. Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoin, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with your MoonPay so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like us here at Game On directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. Go download your Rumble Wallet today. Oh yeah.
There you are.
All right. Now. All right. So what? We don't have Oh my gosh! Why do these guys need so much time off? Okay, wait till Tuesday. What is this?
Tuesday, buddy.
Just a casual lie on in bed in the morning.
Does this shit end next week?
Next Sunday.
Oh my god! We gotta wait all the way till Sunday, and we only got 3 matches left. Come on.
4.
Well, you got 4.
It's the third, fourth place playoff
game
on Saturday.
And no one cares about 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, true that.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
But there will be a good soccer match, whoever it is. You're going to have 2 big dogs playing on Saturday, too.
Yeah, 3rd and 4th playoff, because it's not really competitive. It doesn't really get very tactical. So that one rarely goes to extra time. And I don't think it's ever gone to penalties.
Oh, so you're saying it's due.
It is
well,
due.
It would be refreshing if it goes to penalties, because one of the bets I had pre-tournament was over on the number of games to go to extra time and penalties. I need one more shootout, or I need one more game to go to extra time for the extra time bet to hit. But I could still do another couple of penalty shootouts. I kind of have them laddered up. But it has been a little bit freakish in the knockout stages as well, because we've had about 6 games decided by injury time goals, which is actually a lot. You generally tend to have more like 1 in 10 games, but the strike in this tournament has been closer to 1 in 5. And we almost had, as you know, that came between Portugal and Croatia. You had your injury time goal for Portugal, and it seemed like Croatia had equalized at the very death, only for it to be ruled out by Snick Amader, and that was that whole kind of scandal. Yeah, from a probabilistic perspective, we could easily have had an extra 2 or 3 games go to extra time and penalties if it weren't for that. So yeah, I'm going to be watching the 3rd, 4th place playoff, probably for that alone.
I think you're going to wind up getting. I think both these games could go to extra time, man.
Yes, yeah, that's my instinct at the moment. France and Spain are clearly the 2 best teams left in the tournament. And both of them are opponents that they haven't really faced so far in the tournament. France's dominance has come from them being able to dominate the ball midfield, gradually stretch your opponents, look for openings on the wings, cut back in from Mbappe, and just leverage that. Like, they got a bunch of players who have like Ballon d'Or level talent in the team. So to an extent, they don't need to be an intricate tactical unit. To a large extent, Deschamps just trusts them to go out onto the pitch, do their stuff, and get the result. Spain is the first time they'll be coming up against an opponent who could credibly challenge their dominance of the ball in midfield. Because what Spain are really good at doing is when you have a ball swarming around you, making it difficult for you to play the easy balls that advance the ball with the pitch, and indeed winning it half the pitch themselves. And one thing that both teams are excellent at is recovery pace, rest defense. Both of them are very good at not giving up chances in the break because their defenders are so fast, so athletic. So my lean at the moment is towards this being a very low event, low scoring game. I don't think either side is going to give up particularly too many chances. And if anything, I would lean towards France giving up a bit more in the way of chances than Spain too. But the flip side of that is that France have more divergent attacking talent. They got more chance of just having a rocket go in out of absolutely nowhere. But from a chance creation perspective, I think this game is going to be a bit lower for chances.
How do you see these games shaping out, Jamie? Who do you think we're getting in the final, man? Is it a foregone conclusion? I mean, it's obviously not. These teams are all very good. But I think a lot of people expect to see Argentina and France next Sunday.
Yeah, it's not foregone at all. There could be any of 4 different permutations of who gets into the final. But what I'm more interested in are the pre-game lines. So France against Spain. Polymarket, France are 42 cents to win in 90 minutes. The draw is priced at 30 cents, and Spain are priced at 29 cents. And if you're looking at simply team to advance, France are at 60 cents and Spain are at 41 cents. So Asian handicap, that's France being favored by around a quarter of a goal. Like that line, I generally would say is somewhat sharp. The markets are respecting that France are probably not going to come in and just roll rush shot over Spain, but they're probably going to have just about enough to get it done. But my instinct is that France are maybe slightly overvalued here. I'd lean towards going to extra time and penalties. Like the crucial thing really here is that Spain is not a team that's going to just lie back and let France have the majority of the ball. Spain have only conceded 1 goal all tournament. And France have also shown that they do struggle to create against teams that are able to keep things very tight defensively. And sure, Spain aren't going to put 10 men behind the ball the way Paraguay did. But once again, they're very good at selectively making themselves compact. You can beat one of their lines, but they're often ready waiting with the next line. And as well as that, they do have quite a bit of pace to play in the break. And because of that, it limits how much France are able to push their defensive line high. They can camp on the other team's half if they're against a team like Paraguay. But against a team like Spain, that's a very genuine risk. An interesting question is Yamin Lamal. How well is he going to play? He had injury issues coming into the tournament, but a 7th game of the tournament, that's when those issues kind of begin to go away a bit.
That kid's good.
Yeah, it is indeed. So I lean towards this game being a little bit closer than the markets are suggesting, but I suspect it's going to be a low event game.
I think in both these damn games, you bet the tie for your unit, 2 units, or whatever, and I think you put little sprinkles on both teams to win in PKs. Because you get pretty good odds. You're usually getting plus 950 or better on a team to win in PKs in both of these. It may not be quite that high in this. It may be more around the plus 850 mark or something like that. But I think there's value on both of them. I think one of these games is going to PKs.
I'm just going to wait for someone to score and then bet the other team to come back and win.
That's not a bad bet either. Or wait till they score and then bet the tie then.
Yeah.
Or even one team goes ahead, just bet the no on them. Yeah, there is a certain logic to that. I would see that logic certainly with Argentina, because Argentina have a funny way of whereby when they go a goal ahead, they start trying to slow the pace of the game down, not really aggressively pushing for.
I hate that, dude.
So they did that against Cape Verde, and Cape Verde, they came back, got a goal. Switzerland, their goal was kind of against run of play anyway, but Switzerland still got back into it.
Yeah.
If England or if Argentina go 1-0 up, then yeah, you could take the no out in Argentina. That's not a bad idea at all. But that second semi-final, both teams have big structural issues. There's obviously a fair bit of hype over England because Thomas Tuchel has got them to a semi-final while playing a more adventurous brand of football than they did under Gareth Southgate. But they did not convince against Norway at all. Norway were the better team over the course of 90 minutes. And in extra time, it was like keeper spilled it, and Bellingham was the first to respond, and Norway just didn't really have enough left in the tank from there. Pre-game lines here: England priced at 38 cents. The draw is very aggressively priced up at 33 cents. And Argentina are priced to win at 31 cents. So, yeah, I think the betting markets are pricing a match where both teams might be able to land a blow on each other, but don't really have enough for a knockout blow. So draw 33 cents, but penalties, that market's still kind of settling. But I know Bet Online, I believe, has the match going to penalties of plus 400. So that's implied 20 cents. So if you're able to get the price for it to go to penalties in the teens, that could end up being a good bet, because another thing people underestimate is that once you get into these really deep rounds in the tournament and you get into extra time, you can become very conservative when it comes to how you manage the game from there on in. So yeah, see a bit of value in penalties. I'm probably going to do a little bit of a deep dive and see if I can find any value on totals, both teams to score and corners. Because the corner markets have been a little bit soft.
Check this out. Shout out to Redheaded League. It says the thumbnail was just for views. It worked. Nice.
Winner.
that was the goal. That was the goal, my friends.
Most professional, on-time, non-clickbait show on the internet.
Yeah, you already know. Ghost, have you watched any of the World Cup and betting on it at all, or are you just focused on baseball?
Nope, just focus on baseball. I actually only watched 2 games.
You accidentally watched 2 games?
Yeah, I actually watched when the USA played, of course, and I watched when Mexico played. Those are really the only 2 matches I was watching. But now both teams have obviously been eliminated back-to-back nights. I'm not tuning in. So right now I'm just more focused on Major League Baseball, Canadian Football League, and I've been jumping back into some WNBA action again. So that's kind of like where my focus is right now as I concentrate on the upcoming football season. And obviously we're going to be doing a Saturday morning college football show, myself and Grass Guy. And I know, Cricket, you said you were going to jump in as well.
I talked to Grass yesterday. I said I wanted to get with y'all before. It'll be obviously when I get the boys back, but I do want to sit down and talk with y'all about that. I think we can have a pretty good show there, man.
Yeah, just determining on the time it starts, because I know the first games in college football generally start around noon Eastern. So we're trying to determine a time that we're going to start the show. I have a feeling it's going to be around probably 10:30 Eastern, maybe 10 Eastern.
10 or 10:30, I think is the best time. It gives you time to watch the lines move early in the mornings. You can get some of that late action coming in and really decide what the lines are doing there. And right before kickoff, a lot of folks are tuned in, ready to watch that stuff.
Yeah, we're actually going to probably do a deeper dive into the schools that are not ranked.
Okay. That's where you'll find the gyms.
Oh, yeah. And obviously, we still have that trend that continues with the unranked opponent. Generally, they play during the week. An unranked opponent that's favored over a ranked opponent, that seems to hit like around 70% of the time. So we'll be concentrating a lot on that this season. Like, again, I said, a lot of the smaller schools that you can get focused on, especially when you get some of these crappy conferences like the MAC, but you can still make some money on these conferences.
Mm-hmm. There's value all over
conference by conference breakdown.
Obviously the new realigned Pac-12 as well. I mean, there's a lot of teams in there. I know they moved in there so they can try to get a shot at the championship or get into the playoff round. Obviously, some teams will make the playoff round, but they'll probably get knocked out right away by the big boys. I mean, you've got the Washington states in there, you got the Oregon states in there, Boise State's going to be in there, Fresno State's going to be in there, Utah State. I'm trying to think of
State.
And North Texas is going to be in that division. So it's going to be an interesting division with that new realigned Pac-12.
Pac-12 after dark's back, baby.
And we have Gonzaga. How about that?
Yeah.
And basketball.
So fucking good.
Basketball.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I'm fully aware Gonzaga has no football team.
I'm surprised.
About college football is that it'll be the second year in which we'll have full-scale prediction markets for it. And I expect that the liquidity is going to be better. It was a little bit ropey last year because Polymarket only just got started with it. But this year, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, I'd say.
I'm surprised Hawaii didn't jump into the new Pac-12.
We want those Rainbow Warriors.
I'll tell you what, they were a fun team to watch when June Jones was their head coach, when they had Timmy Chang and Colt Brennan as their
Colt Brennan, man. Yeah, I was going to say Colt Brennan.
That fun and gun offense, they're a great team to watch back then when he was running that team. I mean, it was like throw the ball first, run second.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch until they played Georgia in the Sugar Bowl.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember that Hawaii was like ranked number 3 or something like that.
They got
in the nation.
Like
they got beat down. That was a royal beat down. I think the only time I saw a very high ranked team that made the championship series is when they had the BCS. Is when old man Gino was the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, and they made one of those BCS games, and they put a beat down on Virginia Tech in the championship game, in one of those games.
One of the big BCS bowls, yeah.
And after they fired Mangino, they haven't been shit since.
Did that happen, Hot Thoughts? I don't remember that.
What? Yeah, they fired Mangino because they thought he was a little rough on the players and stuff like that. But hell, he made them a winner. I mean, that team was in the background of their basketball program.
Yeah, no, I'm all about too. Kids are soft these days too. You need to be coached a little harder. I'm talking about. I didn't know Colt Brennan passed away.
Yeah, Colt Brennan passed away a couple of years ago. I think he had some substance abuse issues.
Oh, okay. I hate to hear that. I didn't remember that happening.
And the quarterback that played before him over there, Hawaii, Timmy Chang, he was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
he was a backup to Donovan McNabb for a little while until he just couldn't cut the mustard in the league.
Okay,
why does everyone try to copy us Americans?
What?
Why does everyone try to copy us Americans?
What they do now?
They're trying to steal our March Madness idea. Just saw this. FIFA is considering expanding the World Cup by a further 16 nations to a 64-team tournament.
Well, hell, we already played this damn thing for a month and a half. We'd have to start that thing in March.
Yeah, everybody, you got to get brackets and all this. Well, they do kind of have small brackets for it.
I mean, really, you should do that. You should just expand it to 64, and then only 2 teams make it out of the group stage, and now you're in the round of 32, and just move on.
Like, there is a case for that, and it's not just because it means Ireland might actually qualify for it.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean,
the third place, all the best third place teams going through, it reduces the jeopardy in the group stages. So, like, you can have teams go out when it's best third place teams go through. We have had that in previous tournaments back in the 80s and the 90s, back when it was 24 teams. But I think it was the crucial combination of most of the best third place teams going in and a freakish rate of favorites progressing, which is ultimately made for one of the less dramatic tournaments when you take a look over the longer scale of things. Like, I think it'll be remembered as a tournament that was entertaining in parts, but I don't think it's going to stay in the popular memory because it's lacking some real stories of twists and turns the way previous tournaments had.
I like it. I would like it better if only 2 teams made out of the group stage. You do see some of these teams when they know both of them can make it, they just get out there and they just literally kick the ball around. Ain't nobody trying to score. Everybody's trying to clog up the box and stuff. If you knew one of those damn teams had to be eliminated, it'd make for a much better product.
Yeah, I try to remember. There was back in the 80s, the disgrace of Gijón, I believe it was.
The disgrace of who?
The disgrace of Gijón. It was a 1982 World Cup group stage match between West Germany and Austria.
I read about that one a couple weeks ago, man.
A 1-0 win for West Germany guaranteed both the European nations advanced to the next round while eliminating Algeria. And following an early goal, both teams essentially stopped trying to play competitively.
That's probably why I read about it. I think this was Algeria's first tournament they made since then.
Yes, and funnily enough, they played Austria this time, and it was one of those games where whoever finished second would have to go and face Spain, whereas whoever finished third would go on to face Switzerland. Now, Switzerland wasn't really going to be an easy matchup either. But it was a bit of an insane game in the sense that no team really wanted to win it.
Yeah, it was. They said it was disgusting. I didn't realize how good the Schweiz were at soccer, man. They're a pretty good soccer nation.
They're a team that you can set your watch to how reliably they'll qualify and then get through to the knockout stages. But they tend to be very boring to watch.
It's kind of a disgusting style of play, ain't it, dude?
It's their way of playing is just so conservative and predictable. It's not even entertaining in the way that old style Italian catenaccio is, because that one you would at least have. There's a very subtle way the game develops tactically, but Switzerland, for as long as I can remember, they're just very boringly safe. They did very well this time. Like I suppose getting a red card is a very abnormal level of excitement for them, and they could have knocked out Argentina. So I'll at least credit them for putting the upset on the table. But generally, group stages, they're a very predictable team to watch. You just know they're going to come out to an easy win, and the group
they're going to muck it up,
and then come up short some stage during the knockout stages. Yeah,
fair enough. They can get to. They're going to play in some big games, but they ain't really winning any of them.
Yeah, but yeah, who knows? It was remarked that their manager looks like a coke dealer from the 80s. So who knows? Maybe he'll give him a little bit of energy.
There you go, a little boost, a little cocaine. Okay.
Yeah, now we're talking.
It, actually, you know what the last 16 matchup between Switzerland and Colombia was called? It was called Charlie versus the Chocolate Factory.
That's funny.
We don't spend long on this, but the Seahawks sold yesterday for $9.6 billion.
Did you see how much Paul Allen bought him for, and then how much he sold them for?
What, like 100? Let me guess, 150.
Yeah, something around there.
Million, and he sold them for 9.6 billion.
The second largest price for a sale for a sports team, American sports team. The only other one was the Lakers, which was 10 billion.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're smart for selling that thing after a championship like that.
Oh yeah, especially
I think there were rumors swirling before then that they were going to sell the team.
And they were interested in it. They had to wait a certain amount of time because of like an agreement that they made with the state of Washington. Like they had to wait X amount of years, and if they sold, because they got taxpayer funded to build their stadium, and if they sold it anywhere before that time was up, they would have to pay like an 8% of the sale had to go to the state. So smart on their part. They waited for that time to expire.
Yeah, they did, and it worked out just fine. And
just happened to win a Super Bowl when it happened too. But I just thought it was strange. The gal that bought it, or the group, has like a minority share in the 49ers as well. Which
I saw that this morning.
Weird. Divisional opponents too.
And you don't have to travel far,
Right.
You root for both teams.
Absolutely. Just get you one of them jerseys that's cut in half.
Yeah. House divided.
Yeah.
Ownership divided.
Yeah. Just put that on front of the private jet.
Kind of like AJ Hawk's wife when Ohio State was playing Notre Dame. She had half a Notre Dame jersey on because her brother's Brady Quinn. And then you got AJ Hawk for Ohio State. She had a split jersey on.
I remember when back in 2001, Casey Clausen played at Tennessee, and Rick Clausen, who later came to Tennessee, he was at LSU at the time, and we were at that game. We were walking in, and it had to be his parents because they were the only two people in that stadium that had like half Tennessee, half LSU jersey, and it said Clausen on the back. I think that's the first time I remember seeing one of those. So, boys, I'm about to have to make a hard out on this thing. I got to do a card break this morning. I'm gonna leave it to y'all. Let y'all.
What you?
I got to run to the store, man, and I got to make breakfast.
Yeah, I see Grass Guy's in the chat now.
Grass Guy, climb on in here with him, man. Come in here and hang out with him.
Substitution.
Yep. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go, Jamie. We're substituting in the 79th minute, man. Here we go. All right, chat. Man. Y'all have a great day. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning. We're ripping cards at 10:30 a.m. over on our Whatnot channel, Heavy_Steps. Y'all have a great day. Be safe out there, boys. I'll catch you next time.
Later, buddy.
Catch you soon. I'm probably going to dash in about 10 minutes myself. I got this social to go to. A friend from back in the day in school is having a baby. So, going to head to that.
Well, would you like me to wait to start the Cowboys talk? You want me to save you from that pain?
Let's dive into it.
Okay, good. I love this shit. Here we go. All right, so we've been covering team by team. We're just going in order, using Warren Sharp book, previewing each team as we have the upcoming 2026 NFL season right around the corner. Today we are on the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? America's team, or so they say. What we do is we take a look at everything that happened over the offseason. We break down some of the analytics of last year, thanks to Warren Sharp's numbers in this book. If you haven't already, you should go check out his book. You can go Warren Sharp website, or go type in Warren Sharp book on Amazon. I think it's still on sale for only $63, and you get a big, thick over 600 page book. And as you'll see here, it has so much detail. But Dallas Cowboys, second year with Shotty as head coach. They got a new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. They need someone to work out there because their defense was atrocious. They have one of the best offenses in the league, but their defense is just terrible. Their projected win total this season is 9.5. They haven't gone over that since 2023, as you can see right there. Their schedule, and as this may shock no one, they have a ton of primetime games. What is that? One, I guess if we count the international, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 primetime games. I mean, that's what you get when you're the Dallas Cowboys. They do have a net rest advantage, which is great for them. If you're a Cowboys fan, they only have 1 week where they play at a rest disadvantage, and They have 4 other weeks where they have a rest advantage, which honestly they're going to need. They have a rest advantage when they play the Packers, when they play the Seahawks, and when they play the Rams, which will and the Giants. So that's interesting. One thing I like about this is that we get to see what players were lost and who was added. I always forget, when NFL rolls around, like what happened back in March and free agency and then the draft, of course, but like mainly free agency of like, oh yeah, that player is now over here or that guy's no longer there. Week 14 bye, not the best. For my team, I hate when they have a late in the year bye, but they get one of the last buys you can get. So that's going to be a brutal 13-week grind. Some of the players that they lost, they lost a lot of defensive players, but that doesn't really matter because none of them were good. I'm curious to see if they do bring back Clowney because he actually was productive for them. That guy's just a mercenary, dude. Just who's got a bag of cash? I'll come play for you for a year, but it's still very productive. Key free agents they added. They got Rashawn Gary in a trade. Jalen Thompson they signed, Kobe Durant, PJ Lockie, and a couple other dudes. Sam Howell is backup quarterback. That is crazy. I forgot that happened. In the draft, though, they ended up taking Caleb Downs in the first round. They got a steal of a player there at 11. Great safety out of Ohio State. And then they had a second first-round pick, and they took Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher out of UCF. They need all the help in the world they can get on defense. So they took a linebacker in the 3rd round, a DB and a defensive tackle in the 4th round. So they're just trying to find anyone that can play some competent football on the defensive side of things. How do you guys think? I guess let's stay focused on last season. Were you guys surprised about how it turned out for the Cowboys last year?
Nothing surprises me with the Cowboys. As long as Jerry Jones is still pulling the strings, nothing surprises me. This team has underperformed since he's taken over all the player operations, general manager, and everything. They're going on over 30 years since they've had a Super Bowl appearance. I think you can count on one hand now how many times they've actually made the playoffs since in 30 years. So as long as Jerry Jones is still in control of everything, this team's always going to underperform.
How much influence does the owner have directly when it comes to fucking up the day-to-day running of the club? Or franchise rather?
All of it. Generally all of it. You just got to look at some teams where the ownership just kind of sits back and they hire people to do all the work. Robert Kraft does it with the Patriots, where he just sits back there. He hires the proper personnel. The Rooneys have always done that. The Maras have always done that. And even the old ownership for the San Francisco 49ers, when the DeBartolos still run it. It's just the son-in-law runs the team now. It's just that, and the teams where they have ownership that likes to put their hands into the operations are generally teams that fail. Like the Raiders have failed for years when Al Davis is constantly in control of everything, so they failed. And ever since Jerry Jones took over for the Dallas Cowboys, he hired a very good Hall of Fame coach in Jimmy Johnson. He was running that team, but then they clashed heads. So Jerry Jones fires Jimmy Johnson. And they have not been successful since. Throw out the thing with Barry Switzer, because the Dallas Cowboys actually were losing that Super Bowl. It wasn't for two interception returns back for touchdowns is what won that Super Bowl, because they were completely dominated by the Pittsburgh Steelers in that Super Bowl. They were already at the end of their legacy there, that short legacy there. So a lot of people don't remember that the Dallas Cowboys weren't in that game. They were just dominated by the Steelers. It was just unfortunate that Neil O'Donnell threw two pick sixes to Larry Brown in the Super Bowl that cost them that Super Bowl. But whenever ownership meddles their hands too much into daily operations, the teams tend to fail because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
See,
I
think they do.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I have noticed that in football on this side of the Atlantic as well. Whenever they tend to start getting too involved with being trigger happy with getting rid of managers, that's when things tend to go to shit. I also heard that the Cowboys used to do better back in the day before before the draft system was brought in its current incarnation?
They used to do better when they were doing cocaine.
Yeah.
Well,
and a lot of times, even when it comes to draft picks, drafting, a lot of times ownership stays out of drafting players. They may have an opinion, but that's what they hire a general manager for. He takes care of that stuff. But in the Cowboy situation, it's Jerry Jones that makes the decisions, even in the draft. Yeah, has he had some good drafts? Yeah, he has, but they always underperform, especially when it comes time to mid-season. He starts getting more involved, and then the team just takes a nosedive. I mean, he's had some great players there, but they underperform because he just starts meddling his hands in it, and the team has continued to do so.
I will say their draft this year seems to be pretty good. I mean, their first round picks were solid picks.
But their head coach isn't very good. Schottenheimer's not a good head coach. And you got to look at the head coaches that they've had there. I mean, guys like Dave Campo as a head coach. I mean, he had Mike McCarthy there. I mean, he's had some decent coaches there, but they didn't get involved enough. I mean, I remember they put in Bill Parcells there for a little while, and Bill Parcells couldn't do anything with that team because Jerry Jones had too much control.
I would say it's just hard because Jerry's running the show. You know, he's kind of, with Shotty there, he's kind of de facto coach because he's Shotty's just a little puppet.
I mean, if you're a premier coach out there, would you want to go to work there? No, because you're not going to have any kind of control. That's why they don't get top tier head coaches there. Because you don't have the control.
This is why I like this book, because there's things like we all perceive and think we know what happened last year, and we have in our minds like, oh yeah, you know, Cowboys, good offense, terrible defense, didn't really do much. But these just put numbers to it. So Dallas played the second easiest schedule of opponents last year, but still trailed in 16 of their 17 games. That is crazy, especially when you layer in the fact that the offense was number 2 most efficient offense in the NFL. You're the number 2 most efficient offense, playing the second easiest schedule, and trail in number 2 most games all season. The wheels of this stat were set in motion by a handshake in March of 2025. That was when Crosby and Myles Garrett signed their massive extensions, and those were the last deals to get done before Micah Parsons' deal needed to get done. And that's ultimately what led Micah Parsons to getting traded, because Jerry didn't want to pay him all that money.
Here's the other thing about the Cowboys. They're going to have to start looking for another quarterback soon, because Dak Prescott, I mean, he's starting to get long in the tooth. I mean, you had the premier running back in Elliott, and obviously his career's over. But I mean, he's going to get long in the tooth, and they're going to wind up having to draft a quarterback. Maybe they'll draft what's his name, another quarterback like that quarterback he drafted, Quincy Carter, I think it was his name, who ran the option. That's the only reason Jones drafted him, because he knew how to run the option, and he was complete trash.
Yeah. The thing with Dak is I think they would have moved on from him by now, but they gave him all that money, and
you can't
get out of it.
No, you can't get out of it. And he shows signs too. I mean, of regressing a little bit in certain games. I mean, it just the franchise is a mess as long as Jones is still controlling everything on that team, and he won't get out of his way. He won't get out of the way of his own ego. So I mean, that's why they haven't won a Super Bowl in over 30 years, or hardly made the playoffs.
What do you think about the Cowboys, Grass Guy?
Morning.
Well, hello, Grass
Good
Guy.
morning.
I agree with Ghost 100% that they're going to have to search for a quarterback sooner or later, and probably sooner would be the best option. Not saying they got to replace him this year, but how much longer does he have before he starts declining?
What sucks is you can't. I mean, you can justify what you're paying him and whatnot, not based off wins, but it puts up a ton of numbers because that offense is so damn explosive. It's kind of hard. But anyone could put up those numbers when you have all those weapons that you're throwing to. And the way that
how well Cooper Rush did there when he was out. I mean, that tells you something right there.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see. This is more about the defensive stuff. We understand that. Let's get down to here. The Cowboys this year are favored in 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games they're favored in. Last year they went 2-8 against the spread as a favorite. They went 7-10 overall against the spread last year, but 2-8 as a favorite. And let's see, what were they? They were 4-4 at home. So when the Cowboys are on the road, it seems like a good time to bet against them. They have not had a winning season against the spread on the road in the past 3 seasons. God, this is why I love this. You just get all this fun data that you can.
They're not winning week 1, that's for sure.
No, they're not going to. I think the Giants are going to beat them week 1. That point spread's way too low, and that's a sure sign that the Giants are going to win that game. I think the point spread's 1.5.
What up, Goody?
I mean, come on. When was the last time the Cowboys were only favored by 1.5 against the Giants?
I know, right?
I think the Giants are gonna beat them on game 1. I wouldn't even be shocked. I'm looking at that schedule right now. I wouldn't even be shocked to see the Redskins beat them. Yeah, there's a good chance. I mean, then there's a real. I mean, I'm looking at that point spread of 4.5. There's a good shot that the Cowboys could start the season 0-3.
Yeah, because that third game against Baltimore,
or even go 0-4 against the Houston Texans defense.
Yeah, it's going to depend on what they do, how the defense looks this year. I mean, that's what it was last year. But the young. I mean, when you are bringing in a bunch of young guys, it usually doesn't go well. But defensively, the Cowboys, they just need to get somewhere close to average because their offense can score at will. But when their defense is giving up so many points, the pressure and the energy spent always playing from behind eventually catches up with you. And that's what we saw with the Cowboys as the season went on. It's like they spent so much. I mean, hell, they were just happy. They were happy to get a tie last year. You know what I mean? They were like, oh, we got a tie. Great.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the schedule that you got here because they got the Giants, the Redskins, the Ravens, the Texans, the Buccaneers, the Packers, the Eagles. I mean, it's not out of reality that their first win could be against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're going to get a win or two in that stretch.
Do we know what the Redskins are going to be, though? Are they going to be any good? I know they had a decent draft, but I mean, are they capable?
I think it all depends on their quarterback. I think it all depends on their quarterback. If he stays healthy,
yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, that's like with every team, though.
And that's an away game for the Cowboys. That's why I was saying there's a good chance that they could lose.
No, this is home for the Cowboys against.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I changed my mind on that one. They could beat them if that's a home game.
Look at these totals though. Just because their defense is so bad.
Where's the defense? Yeah, I know exactly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 games that are in the totals in the 50s already.
Every game the total is over 40.
Yeah, I mean it's every game it's over. What's the lowest one? The lowest one is 47.5.
Yeah, against the Texans, with the team that had the best defense in the league last year. And look at that highest total. What is that? 52.5 against the Colts and the 49ers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
One angle I'm interested in is what I've heard about the Dallas Cowboys being a public favorite. So they tend to have big public money on them pretty much regardless of whether they're good or they're bad.
Yep.
What implications does this have for timing good entries on them, especially in those early weeks of the season?
You're better off waiting right up until kickoff if you want to bet against the Cowboys, because all that money starts moving in and the line rarely goes the other way on it. Or even wait for the Cowboys if you know they're going to get the ball first. Just wait and see if they score first, and then take the other side.
Yeah, I agree with I just put that in the chat. I think a smart bet on this. If you're going to look at the Cowboys season total, take it under 9.
Yeah, well,
I think they're at about 24 cents to win the NFC East.
They're not winning the NFC
going
East.
Against them, I wonder. 74 cent deal to get them to not win the NFC East.
That should tell you something right there.
Yeah, let me pull up
Aren't they good in close games though?
No, not really.
They're not. Okay, maybe that was 2 years ago.
At least
the
not
games
last.
might be close because they aren't finishing them off, because the defense is not shoring things up.
Well,
Point.
they had Grassguy. We talked about this right before you got on. They had the number 2 offense last year, and they still trailed. And they played the second easiest schedule, and they still trailed 16 of the 17 games.
They had the second easiest schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's saying
this is after the fact. Like after the season's over, they look back and you can tell, like, okay, based off of records and whatnot and how people performed.
Right.
There used to be that strong trend with the Cowboys too, that they couldn't win any games in the month of December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's, if you go over to Kalshi, so yeah, they're favored to get 9 wins. They're over on 9.5. If you think they'll get 10 wins, it'd be 51. I think with their schedule, and having such a late bye week and new defensive coordinator, new young defensive players, like you were saying, Ghost, it can get ugly fast. I think you take no on the 9 wins, and that's above plus 150. I think you even take the no on the 8. You're almost getting.
I was just going to say that.
8
I was
wins.
just going to say that. Take the no on the 8 as well.
That's where the value is. It's always a value picking against the Cowboys. It doesn't matter how bad they are.
Yeah,
they always are. So it's you can't ever take them in anything.
No, I think they'll finish under 500 this year.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either, especially with that schedule that we were just looking at.
Yeah, especially if they had the second easiest schedule last year. What's the ranking of their schedule this year?
Hold on, let me pull it up. It's right. What the fuck? Where are we at? There we go. The Cowboys. Oh, they have the 4th toughest schedule. They're right down
here. So they go up. So they just went up 2 notches.
Yeah, and this. And this is based off of this isn't based off of like how ESPN does it, like what was your record last year, and then that's how we're going to rank what your schedule is this year. No, this goes based off of Vegas's win totals. So what does Vegas think a team is going to be? And so they take all your opponents and take their win totals, and then that's how they rank this, which I think is the better way to do it than looking back at last year and saying, oh, look at, you're playing 8 playoff teams this year. That's a tough schedule. And it's like, well, maybe, but what are those playoff teams projected to do this year based off the win total?
Yeah. Vegas is going to be more responsive to stuff that has changed since.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I trust what's coming out of Vegas. If I'll trust anybody like on ESPN or the NFL Network and their opinions, because Vegas has got more of a handle on this.
Yeah, I do have another question. Something which has been circled in certainly discussions over in sports picks is the idea that defense is caught up to offense, and it's no longer really a case that strength of quarterbacks is seen as most predictive for lines and totals. You've already highlighted that Cowboys weak defense, Texans one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in the league. What implications would defense catching up to offense have for even something like the line between for the Texans Cowboys game?
I don't think it really has caught up to it. I do think it's quarterback dependent and offensive coordinator or head coach dependent. Obviously, to have a good offense, you need to have a solid quarterback. He doesn't have to be the best quarterback, but you got to have a solid quarterback, and then you have to have a smart either offensive coordinator or head coach to scheme up against these really good defenses. Defenses do help, and defense really show up when you're playing young quarterbacks or mid-level quarterbacks. But when you're playing some of the elite quarterbacks, I still think the offense has an edge personally.
I mean, we've seen, gosh, this is probably 30 years ago. We saw the Baltimore Ravens go and play the New York Giants in the Super Bowl. Then Baltimore Ravens had a piss poor quarterback throughout his whole career, Trent Dilfer. But the Ravens defense was just so stellar that year that they won the Super Bowl. And Trent Dilfer, one of the worst quarterbacks in quarterback ranking and all that, got a Super Bowl ring. And he was not a good quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the Browns this year. Browns had an amazing defense. They couldn't get turnovers, but every other category they were a historically great defense, and they got 5 wins.
I can't say that much for the Chicago Bears, the '85 Bears. Jim McMahon was decent, but he also had some weapons to throw the ball to. He had Walter Payton in the backfield, and they had a stellar defense as well. So they were able to get the job done. I mean, I would take Jim McMahon as a quarterback over Trent Dilfer.
Yeah. Willie Gault was a good deep threat, also.
Yeah, Willie Gault.
Exactly. One of my favorite things in this book is he takes a season win total and he makes an argument for both sides, like a lawyer in court. Why bet the under? Why bet the over? And then you get to decide. So why to bet? And I want to get your guys' opinion on his opinion on why you should bet the under for the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys didn't take advantage of a soft schedule last year, winning only 7 games while playing the third easiest schedule. Dallas stumbled against quality opponents last year, going only 1-5 against teams that made the playoffs. They have fewer cupcakes on the schedule with the 4th hardest strength of schedule in 26. Dallas can't chalk up losses last year to unfavorable penalties. The penalty margin and penalty yardage margin were razor thin. Still, the penalty equation worked out extremely well for the Cowboys as they were the 3rd in offensive penalty EPA and 11th in defensive penalty EPA. Cowboys stayed largely healthy on offense last year. Their offense was 9th in offensive health in the NFL last season. CeeDee Lamb missed 3 games, but Dak, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson didn't miss any games. Javonte Williams missed only week 18. I'm surprised he didn't talk anything about how piss poor their defense is. Really.
I'm curious in the upcoming draft here if Jerry Jones is going to try to do something to try to get one of these quarterbacks coming out.
But I'm curious if his wheels start.
I could see him doing that, trying to find some way to draft one of these top 3 quarterbacks coming out this year.
Whoa, Trent Dilfer equals Drake May. Stop it, Germ. Drake
Someone
May
had to say it.
It is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league when thrown.
Yeah, and we don't have everything on Drake May yet. Trent Dilfer had been in the league,
not even close.
While. Yeah, Trent Dilfer was a terrible quarterback at Tampa Bay, and then the Ravens picked him up because Elvis Grbac left.
Yeah,
Elvis Grbac. God.
I'm curious to see if like the wheels start falling off with the schedule and the fact they don't have a bye until week 14. If if Jerry punts on the season, if it looks like it's already lost, if they're like 2-6 after 8 weeks, and he just punts to try to go get that number 1 pick, so they can go get one of these young quarterbacks that's coming out. That would be interesting. But let me make the argument for why to bet the over on the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys were 4th in yards per play, 5th in points per drive, and 7th in per game scoring last year. Dak Prescott's still a trigger man for the offense. The pass catching core is intact, and Javonte Williams is back after Renaissance season. The offense should keep them in any game. Dallas's potent offense even left meat on the bone last year, despite a bevy of weapons that included CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and to a lesser extent, Jake Ferguson. Despite the skill position talent, the Cowboys were 18th in red zone touchdowns. The Cowboys were 30th in yards allowed per game, 31st in yards allowed per play, 32nd in explosive play rate allowed, 32nd in points per drive allowed, and 32nd in defensive points allowed per game last year. The defense felt tangible in season, the defense felt a tangible in-season change after acquiring Quentin Williams, with an uptick in sacks per pass attempt and an improved rate on 3rd down stops with Williams on the field. They continue to pour meaningful resources into all 3 levels of their defense in the offseason and replace Eberflus with a new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. So that's going to be key too. I mean, they got the Quentin Williams deal there, but they did draft 2 young defensive players in the 1st round. They signed a couple guys, and they got a new defensive coordinator. They just, I mean, as you see, their defense was just last in every category. The defense was so bad that offense was constantly playing from behind. So if you are optimistic about the Cowboys, you're thinking the defense doesn't have to be elite. It just has to be close to average. And you have an offense that can get you some points, and maybe you can get a lead for once and or even extend that lead and not always have to play that from behind, like 2-minute drill style of football, because that wears on you throughout the season. Always playing from behind, especially when you put up like 38 points and you still lose. You know, it's like, damn, dude, what more can we do from the offensive side of things?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but like I said, I don't see this team going anywhere as long as Jerry Jones is pulling the strings. I've been saying this ever since they got that last gift of a Super Bowl, that since he started pulling the strings, that this team wasn't going to go anywhere. And so far, and I mean, and you just got to look at the coaches throughout the years that they've had. Like I said before, Schottenheimer, I mean, people were like going crazy because they thought, I mean, before, when John Harbaugh got fired from the Baltimore, everybody said, "Oh, Harbaugh's going to the Cowboys. Harbaugh's going to the Cowboys." They said there's no way possible Harbaugh is going to go to the Cowboys because he likes to have some control of the team, and he knew that Jerry Jones is the ultimate string puller, and that's why he didn't go there. Because he goes to the Giants because John Mara, even though he's owner, he sits back. Like I said, like the Rooneys, they sit back there and hire the people to do the job.
They really shouldn't have let Dan Quinn go, because their defense has not been the same since Dan Quinn left. I mean, it's been terrible. But I guess they were in a tight spot too, because they didn't know that McCarthy was going to be gone a few years later. Because I'm going to say, you could have just, thrown some money at Dan Quinn and promised him he would be the next head coach after McCarthy left. But they gotta figure it out defensively to even have a shot. But their schedule is so brutal this year. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
One thing I am interested in is to come back to that week 1 game against the Giants. Certainly, Giants under Harbaugh are going to have pretty big targets to aim for. But might it be a case that if there's a time for the Cowboys to face the Giants, it's then in week 1 rather than week 7 or 8 when they've had a bit of time to get fluency under Harbaugh?
Yeah, absolutely. They're not going to have Malik Neighbors for week 1, so that's a weapon gone. It's a new system, so a new offensive system that the players are going to have to get used to, especially with a young quarterback. Just even little things like, how they call in plays, how they prep for the game, what they do pre-game and at halftime, just little things that takes a little while for these. I mean, they're all professionals, but when you have a new coaching regime in there, everything's a little bit different than how you were doing it before. So yeah, it definitely is more of an advantage to get them early on. And I still can't get out of my head a couple years ago when Dallas played the Giants week 1 on, I think it was Sunday night as well, and they won like 40-0. You know what I mean? But then they ended up having a terrible season after that. It's just, I don't know what I'm going to do with that game.
Well, we've seen that before. I remember one year, I'm trying to remember what year it was. It was in the beginning of the Patriots run. Their first game of the season was against the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills beat them like 31-3, and then the Patriots go on and win the Super Bowl that year.
Oh yeah, it was that year that wasn't that the year? It was like 2016, 2017 when they started the season like 2-2, and they looked terrible. I think it was the on to Cincinnati line from Belichick. It came from that season, where he's like, "Yeah, we're on to Cincinnati," and then they literally just turned it around after that.
Yeah, it happened. I think it was when the first year that Steve Young took over quarterback for the 49ers. I think they were beat by the Eagles that year 40-8, the first game of the season. And then the 49ers go on to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. If you're a fantasy football fan, they have a lot of fantasy football advice in here. I mean, Cowboys players on offense are great fantasy football players. 1 second. Oh, kids. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, like Jake Ferg's a good tight end to get. Obviously, George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb is great to get. Dak is even a good quarterback to have because he puts up a ton of numbers. There's worse quarterbacks you can get in fantasy football than that. But they have a lot of good fantasy football advice in there. They were number 1 last year in scoring points in the second quarter, which is kind of crazy that they put up so many points last year, but it looks like a majority of it came in the second quarter because they were ranked 13th and 16th in third and fourth quarter points. And they were only 19. Look at that. You were number 1 in second quarter points, but you were number 19th of having the lead at halftime. That's how bad your defense was. Make it make sense. When you look at these numbers, it doesn't make sense at all.
No, what's funny too is that for years the Cowboys have always been known for having a really good defenses, and to see them having a terrible defense is just that I think that just all boils down to Jerry Jones again.
Yep.
What other than the season win total, is there any other bets you guys are looking at in the futures market? Are you looking like CeeDee Lamb over or under his receiving yards, or Dak, or have you guys? Has any of you dove into that yet?
No, I haven't. I'm sure we probably will. I'm not sure for what we're doing this week for streams wise, just because with the down week of baseball, but we are going to start getting geared up for football here. I might have a future out there. I'm still contemplating on it. We're just taking the New York Giants to win the NFC East.
Ooh, okay. Who's the favorite? The Eagles?
Oh, I'm sure it's probably the Eagles. It's probably the Eagles and the Cowboys, but I'm taking the Giants to win the NFC East. I'm not going to be stupid and say they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm just picking them to win the NFC East.
Yeah, and they're in the teens for that at the moment to win the NFC East.
And I just think the NFC East, if you look at it, it's kind of up for grabs if you really think about it. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts is a very lucky quarterback the way he plays. Yeah. He's very lucky. They got to thank their defense. The Eagles have a very good defense. I mean, how many more years does Barkley have left? I mean, he's starting to get long in the tooth. I mean, he didn't have look at that first season with the Eagles. I mean, he was just on fire. But then last year tapered off.
That was their offensive coordinator. When Kellen Moore left to be the head coach of the Saints, that Eagles offense regressed big time.
Isn't it crazy how an offensive coordinator?
And I think Barkley's going to regress this year.
I mean, he's getting up there in age. We've seen some really good running backs. They just hit a wall at some point. Always happens.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sorry to interject here, but I got a dash. Pleasure as always.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on, Jamie.
Have a good time, brother.
And World Cup next Sunday, so I suppose that'll be as good a time as any to preview it.
The final, yeah, let's do it. Lock it in. We'll see you then.
Anyway, enjoy. I'll catch you guys soon.
We'll see you, buddy. Have a good one.
Take it easy, Jamie.
Let's see. There's just a bunch of good information in here. If you're a stats and numbers person, this is great information. I mean, he gets all the way down into like penalties, and I mean, just like I said, you can tell he breaks it down by like what points you were scoring in the fourth quarter and little things like that. This is a great resource, but let's see what he ends this with. After Jones dropped a bomb on the 25 season in August, there should be optimism in July about the 26 Cowboys. Christian Parker brings a Fangio style structure that should fit the new personnel far better than Matt Eberflus. Caleb Downs, Quinn Williams, Rashawn Gary, Jalen Thompson, Kobe Durant, and Malachi Lawrence give Dallas a real foundation for a defensive reset. The offense does not need to be rebuilt. It needs to stay efficient against a much tougher slate with the defense, while the defense climbs from disaster to competence. Parker can get this unit even near league average. Dallas can absolutely return to the playoff contention. But the schedule is no longer forgiving. The Cowboys go from the second easiest schedule to the fourth toughest. The rest edge helps, especially late, but that does not erase the fact that Dallas wasted the easy year and now has to fix the defense while facing a far more punishing schedule. Yeah, it's going to come down to, do you believe the Cowboys can fix their defensive issues? Because offensively, they're going to be just fine. But they can't put their offense in positions where they're always having to play from behind. So I agree with you. I would look at under 9, under 8 wins. Especially when you get under 8 wins at plus 300, that's pretty good value. That's a nice little thing to have in the portfolio.
I'd still question their offense, especially with that strength of schedule being harder now. I'd still question that offense because I think and we've seen this from Dak Prescott before. He has his Tony Romo moments where where you can almost guarantee that he's going to throw a pick. And
it does. Also, the health. They were super healthy last year, and we never wish for anyone to get injured, but I mean, injuries are part of the game. If they start getting dinged up especially if at quarterback, I mean, that's going to throw a wrench in everything. And the fact they don't have a bye week until week 14, they don't have those rest advantage games until later in the season. If they have some injuries early on, it's going to be hard for them to recover. And always playing in primetime games.
And what do we know about Christian Parker, the new defensive coordinator? What do we know about him?
According to this read up, he brings a Vic Fangio style defense, which sounds good, but let's see if you can actually do it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. If I was a Cowboy fan, I mean, I wouldn't have any faith in this team as long as Jones is still pulling the strings. That's their Achilles heel. He pulls the strings too much, and he's going to have his son in the wings too when Jerry decides to step down and let his son take the team. His son's going to be doing the same thing, pulling the strings.
Well, it's tough for any defense to get it together when you have a bunch of young players going up against competent veteran offenses. I mean, look at their first 7 weeks. They go up against the Ravens, even the Texans. I know their offense isn't great, but they're more of a veteran offense with now a veteran coach. You got the Bucks, the Packers, and the Eagles. That's going to be hard for a young defense young players on that defense to adjust to the pro level football. You're going to see way different.
That being said, being said, they did draft the best defensive player in the country.
Yes, they did.
And that guy is ready for the pros. So that will make a difference back there.
100%, but he's still a rookie out there. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some growing pains.
What is that point spread, if you happen to have it, when they play the Houston Texans?
I believe.
Did they show that far out?
Yeah, they do. They have the whole year lined up. These are all the point spreads projected for the season. That's another reason why I like this book, because when we get to week 11 and they're 6.5 point favorites against Tennessee, if that's 8.5, by the time we get to week 11, you can be like, okay, is a 2-point adjustment through 7? Is that justified based off what we've seen through 10 weeks? And then you can go from there. But
I'm just kind of curious what that line is with the Houston Texans.
The Cowboys are actually 2.5 point underdogs because it's at Houston.
Oh, interesting.
I guarantee
2.5 point underdogs.
And you remember they're coming from Brazil too, so they're coming from an international game, and then they got to go on the road and play.
Are they
defense? Are
they favored against the Ravens?
No, they're 2.5 point dogs against the Ravens as well. That's a neutral game.
Oh, that's a Brazil game.
Yeah.
What's that spread against the Redskins? Is it 4.5?
4.5 point favorites, yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm just looking. I'm looking at your screen now. Now I can see all the point spreads. I mean, I see some losses here, man. Obviously, I would take the Colts over them. I would take the 49ers over them. I'll tell you what, that Tennessee line's very interesting because at that 6.5 mark, it didn't. It's not. It hasn't crossed 7. If that stays at 6.5, I'll be all over the Titan.
I guarantee you, by the time we get to week 4, the Cowboys are favored against the Texans. I bet you the public market comes in and moves that thing the other way. I can't see anywhere where the public will let the Texans be favored over the Cowboys. I'll be happy because I'll take the points, or I'll tease. I'll definitely, if Houston's a 1-point dog in that one, I'll tease Houston up.
Yeah, I think why can't I? I'm drawing a blank on the quarterback for Houston Texans. I think I mean, he's got to show some improvement compared to the way he played last year. I mean, he had a great rookie year, but last year, man, he looked horrible.
Well, we've seen guys when this is the year if he performs this year, he's going to get a contract extension. If not, he's probably going to be kicked out and be a backup in the league, bounce around. But we've seen guys when they step into a contract season. We've seen in the past that some guys actually do step up in this year. Yeah. So maybe it could be a good year for him. They just need. We'll get to the Texans here later on in the month when we cover their team, but they just need to focus on offensive line and not get CJ Stroud hit so much. But the good thing is, going up against that Dallas defense, they don't get much pressure, so that should be favorable for CJ Stroud, unless the Cowboys defense has drastically changed. But there's a Dallas Cowboys preview. We're looking at taking their season win totals under. We'll officially add that to the portfolio and let you know on one of these streams. I'll do a little recap of all the stuff we've added, but that's what we're going to cover each team by team every day, a new team, and then see, look at the analytics and then see where we can find spots in the market to take advantage. It's kind of hard on some of these because we're so far out from the season that the market's just not liquid enough yet. So we'll keep our eye on some of them. But right now, I think the value would be taking Cowboys under 9 wins and under 8 wins, especially that under 8 wins where you're getting 3-1 on your money. That's just
I agree.
Great value. But that's Dallas Cowboys. If you want to watch us live, we go live every single day here at Game On at 7:15 a.m. Eastern. Come hang out with us, or you can just catch these videos. I post these videos up the next day, team by team. So if you are watching that, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you on the next video. Oh yeah. Well, gentlemen, you guys no baseball? Is it the All-Star break this week?
Today's the last day of baseball.
Yeah, Ghost, I was going to ask you. I'm seeing some weird numbers. You want to do a show in about an hour, or do you have time?
I'm not sure. No, I can't today.
Okay.
I've got to run it. I've got to run out. My wife's taking off to work. We got to go pick up a car and all that. So yeah, I don't have any time today. Sorry about that.
Okay. No problem.
Well, why don't you guys break down a couple games right now? Which ones?
We can go for it right now if you're looking at something that's standing out for you.
Yeah, the first game, 12-15. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. That total went from 6.5 up to 8.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that too. And Paul Skeens is pitching. Is there a pitching change? Because Paul Skeens was pitching.
No, I got him shown here.
Did they make a change on the Brewers side? On the Brewers side, it was supposed to be Gasser.
It is. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, I'll check another site. We had this problem yesterday, remember?
Yeah, it's juiced
the other day with Ohtani.
Yeah.
Everything's juiced to the under, I think, in that game. Team totals and everything, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right, too. I think all the team totals, I'm going to go pull up that game right now. Yeah, the team totals are – actually, they're juiced to the over. Over 3.5 at -130, over 3.5 at -139. So they haven't changed the team totals, but they've changed the Pinnacle, bumped it up to 8.5.
Oh, did it? Okay.
But heavily juiced to the under. I was liking this game earlier. I was liking the over when it was at 6.5, but I'm probably going to scratch this game off because I don't like that significant. I mean, we got a huge line jump, 1.5.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
No, I'm probably going to scratch this game off my card.
I'm favoring the over in that one, but
I do favor the over too, just because of the team totals. That's what I'm looking at. But I mean, this game starts in 2 hours.
Yeah. There's
a
couple of totals like I'm looking at. Cubs and the Reds. They have not adjusted this total. 9.5 with 59% of the tickets and 75% of the money on the under. Yet they left it alone, and I think. Let me go back and look over here on Pinnacle. Juice 9.5 juice to the under. Over 4.5 for the Cubs, -129. Under 4.5 for the Reds, -128.
Yeah, I just got my numbers in right now. I'm going to email them to you.
Okay.
They just came in.
So are they on a week break after this?
They come back on Thursday there's one game, and then Friday is the full slate again.
Okay. Well, God, this week is gonna suck. Then I mean,
I'm not doing any shows till Friday. This is where I'm going to start putting all my shit together for and getting geared up for football season. I'm going to start clipping videos and all that kind of shit, and get a little system down that we've been working on. Hopefully, we can transpire it to football.
Well, don't worry.
There's a lot of these massive totals that a lot are on the under, and they never move them at all.
Yeah.
Don't worry. To the viewers out there, we will be talking football all week on this show.
I'll come in if you want me to come in during the week, but I won't be doing. I have no shows to do. There's no reason for it. I'm not going to bet on the All-Star game, so I just
No, I stay away from that. And I'll probably just be looking at some WNBA and then wait for later on during the week when the Canadian Football League starts back up again.
Oh, Ghost, the other one, Indians at the Fish.
Yeah, I was
Total
looking at that.
8 to 7.5, 64% of the tickets, 99% of the money's on the over.
Yeah, I was looking at that game going under the total.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the only one I know that actually talks about and bets on the WNBA. Good for you, though.
He swore off it for a little while, but now he's back.
Yeah. And Canadian Football League has been good this weekend. I mean, I lost one game and I won the last two.
There we go.
I had the over last night, and the night before I had the underdog one outright. Man, yesterday there was on that game last night, the money line was all in favor. It was all it was like plus 3.5, minus like 115 at one time, and then all of a sudden it flipped and went to minus 3.5, minus 115, and the favorite won outright.
Yep.
It was crazy. And that's when I stayed away from the spread and just concentrated on the total. So I looked at the team totals, I looked at the total, and I took it at over 61.5, and 67 points were scored.
It's crazy how just following the money, how many times the money is right. Not always, but
yeah,
weird, quick movements in the line and whatnot.
Yep. The Rays Seattle game's doing the same thing. All that money's on the over. They dropped it a half a run. Fucking germ. That's awesome. I love it. Will might be too young to know what this
I am too young to get it, but I'm glad you guys.
You remember Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze? That Roadhouse, the first one.
That Roadhouse.
Yeah,
I know.
Sam Elliott.
I've never seen it.
This was the name of the bar that he was at.
Oh, okay. I've seen the new one. I never saw the old one.
Yeah, the new one.
Another game I'm looking at too are the Phillies and the Tigers under the total.
Yep, I was just looking at that one too. They just dropped that to 7 because that was 7.5 before.
Well, if you have Kalshi, you can do it on 7.5 because they do not do even numbers.
Right.
Yes, Kalshi, baby.
Well, that's all I use now.
That's it.
Yep.
That's all
I did. I did some live betting, and
fun.
It's great. You just can monitor things. You can like cash out, adjust your number, and go right back in.
Yeah, I love it because you could have a bet that ultimately ends up losing, but if you cashed out at the right time, you made a good profit.
Oh yeah, I did that. I did that a few weeks ago. I was telling Grass Guy about it. It was when the Blue Jays were at the Cubs. I had under 7.5 runs. The Cubs put up 6 runs in the first inning. So what I did is I cashed out, went back in, and took the over, and the 18 runs were scored in that game.
Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah. My problem is I just never have time to watch any of these live as much as I would want to. So.
Well, yeah, no, trust me, I completely understand that. I get that.
I only watching stuff live.
Watch it live too.
Yeah, I'm only doing that live. Like if the wife and I are watching TV or something like that, I can have my phone right there and then watching it.
Yep, exactly.
We are rating RG Jerk Clan.
Yeah, my screen just went. My other screen just jumped over there.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! What up, fellas?
There we go.
I appreciate the big, fat, juicy raid there, gentlemen.
Hey, Grass Guy, check your email, Grass Guy. I sent that stuff over to you.
Good morning. Let's go, fellas.
There we go. I always appreciate when people recognize the raid.
Yeah, you should. They should be doing that. Yeah, I got it. I just came in, Ghost.
Yeah.
I love my wife's skunk. Or skunt.
Wow.
I love the chat. You never know what you're going to see in there. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to touch that Brewers and Pirates game now. I don't like how that significant line jumped there. And granted, it probably is going to go over the total.
That's what I'm thinking too. I mean, Skeens hasn't been that good. He's been giving up runs.
Although on my one site I just looked at right now, 84% of the tickets, 93% of the money also likes the over.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gentlemen. We're going to wrap it up there. I got to do another show here in a little bit, so better go make the
All right, man.
But thanks for joining me. It was fun talking about the Cowgirls. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early as always, on time, of course, most professional, most pro. Breaking down football this week. You guys have a good rest of your Sunday. And until next time.
Good luck.
Good gambling.
And game on.